Good afternoon, guys. Okay, just bear with me. I'm new to this and I'm a little nervous. Okay, I chose to answer prompt three. Why have Americans' level of efficacy declined over time, and why is political involvement and knowledge generally low among the public? Okay, so here we go. Historically, Americans are known for having pride in their country and feeling like they matter to their government and representatives. Americans stood together for what they believed in, and when their voice was heard, changes were made. According to OECD Library, political efficacy refers to the feeling that one's political input has an impact on political processes. So, over the last few decades, there has been a huge decline in American political efficacy and it's not because of one issue or another, it's because of a lot of different things. With the internet at our fingertips at all times, we have access to a constant flood of information. The problem is what information is accurate and what is false or disinformation. There's so much information out there, whether it be on TV, our phones, or social media, that it's hard to filter through everything. And it can be very overwhelming and overstimulating to the point where people want nothing to do with it and would rather binge watch movies or TVs on Netflix or Hulu than watch the news or read a paper. If you're watching TV and you flip from one news channel to another, you can hear the same story relayed different ways depending on the political view of that channel. Politics has become so cutthroat over the last few years that people are afraid to bring them up at the dinner table or at social gatherings because if they don't agree with their friends or family, it causes issues and creates fights. There's an article from the Pew Research Center, authors Rain and Perrin, saying Americans think the public's trust has been declining in both the federal government and in their fellow citizens. This article also says that significant portion of people believe that money has corrupted the government and corporations control the political process. That's true. For a lot of Americans, the feeling of what's the point if I'm not going to be heard anyways, and who's lying and who's telling the truth, have led people in general to not caring about politics. Misinformation and lack of education are the main contributors to the decline of political efficacy. The younger generation has been taught not to trust the government, and social media confuses those who do desire to know what's going on in the world around them. I think after 9/11 and coronavirus, people generally lost trust in the federal government. Um, People are living longer and longer nowadays. So the older generations are the ones that have more involvement in politics. So their views and are the ones that are being heard. Their views and issues are the ones that are being heard, and changes are being made for them, but not for the younger generations. Where people can make a difference is on a state level with representatives by writing letters and phone calls. You're more likely to be heard on a state or local level than a federal level. Federal level, you're just going to fall through the cracks. And you can easily look up a local representative's phone number on Google. It's like right there. Okay. If if you had to choose one political issue to stand behind, what would it be? My issue that I would personally stand behind is the access to affordable childcare. I'm a completely single mom working as a waitress, and now I'm going back to school too. I can't afford $200 a week for childcare. Even if I could afford it, there's not enough daycares or teachers for the daycares. The waiting list runs between 5 to 10 months for a spot. This is something I've been dealing with since the day my son was born, and he's 14 months old. It's very hard. Again, my cited sources are OECD Library with political efficacy and Rain and Perrin, key findings about America's declining trust in government and each other from Pew Research Center. Thank you guys. Sorry I stumbled over myself so much. Hopefully the next one will be better.